Welcome to I Like 10, where once a month I create a top 10 list on something related to anime. This month is going to be a little bit different because I want to honor one of the great anime directors who passed away 4 years ago this month. Satoshi Kon has given the world a bunch of interesting work in the past couple of decades, and today I want to honor him and his work. In chronological order, this is my list of the great works of Satoshi Kon. Though Kon is primarily known for his work in anime, he did contribute to the manga world as well, with his first major work, Tropic of the Sea.
Released in 1990, the story is about a young man whose family has been watching over the eggs of mermaids for centuries in order to protect them before they hatch and returning them to their families. It's a rather interesting story with more of a political and environmental aspect to it, as there are big corporate heads trying to take this small seaside town and turn it into a massive vacation spot.
Certainly an interesting read for all the manga lovers out there. Tropic of the Sea can be found thanks to Vertical. Another work of Kon's that was not only a manga he wrote, but a live-action film as well.
1991's World Apartment Horror is about a Yakuza henchman who runs into some problems while attempting to evict an apartment building full of foreigners. The live-action film is directed by Katsuhiro Otomo, with a screenplay by Otomo and Keiko Nobumoto from a story that Kon originally wrote. Kon is the person who created the manga adaptation that same year.
I honestly just found out this one exists rather recently, and sadly it's unavailable legally, so you may have to go rogue on this one. But it does seem like a lot of fun. A corny 90s horror film? I'm all for it. This is the time where we started to see Kon break into the anime world. Although he previously had small contributions with Patley Boar 2 and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the film Memories was where Kon was starting to gain some attention.
This 1995 film features 3 short films, one of which, Magnetic Rose, was written by Kon. The story is about 2 deep space salvagers who answer a distress signal in a spaceship graveyard where things begin to get a little weird. This short film Memories just gives us a little glimpse of what Kon is capable of, not just as a scriptwriter, but also with character designs, as they are rather similar to the next couple of entries on this list.
If you're looking for some anime history, then Magnetic Rose is certainly a fun one. You can find the film Memories thanks to Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. In 1997, Kon decided that his next major work would be a full directorial debut, and this is where we begin to see his well-known themes taking shape.
Perfect Blue is the story of Mima, a pop idol who decides to pursue an acting career instead, and as she deals with displeased fans, stalkers, and harsh criticism for the change, her world begins to spin out of control. Adapted by Yoshikazu Takeuchi's novel of the same name, Perfect Blue is not only an interesting psychological thriller, but it's one of the most well-known anime films of all time, alongside Akira and many films from Studio Ghibli. Although reviews are mixed for the film, many people still enjoyed the Alfred Hitchcock vibes that were coming off the work, with film director Robert Corman seeing it as a combination of Hitchcock and Walt Disney. Not only that, but Madonna incorporated clips from the film into a song remix for her Drowned World Tour in 2001, and although not an actual influence, director Darren Aronofsky has acknowledged the similarities between Perfect Blue and Black Swan.
This one isn't my favorite of Kon's works, but it's still a fun one to watch. You can find the film from Manga Entertainment. With the success of Perfect Blue, Kon proceeded with his work, and in 2001, Millennium Actress was released.
This film tells the story of retired actress Chioka Fujiwara as she tells her story to a TV interviewer and reflects on her career. This film is one of my favorite works of Kon's, as it is beautifully written and animated that it will move you to tears. At least it did to me. It's one of Kon's biggest award winners, including awards at Fantasia Film Festival, Animation Kobe, and Mainichi Film Awards. It also won the grand prize at the Japan Agency of Cultural Affairs Media Arts Festival, alongside another award-winning film, Spirited Away.
Although Millennium Actress didn't win the Oscar like Spirited Away did, it still became a phenomenal film and gained such high praise. You can find the film thanks to Manga MM Entertainment as well as DreamWorks Home Entertainment. Kon just isn't into horror and suspense. He also likes parodying Japanese culture and society in a satirical kind of way. The result of this gave us the film that every otaku should watch on Christmas time, 2003's Tokyo Godfathers.
This film takes place on Christmas Eve as 3 homeless people find an abandoned baby and try to return her to her family. Out of all of Kon's work, this film shows his most humorous side. Film critic George Palerne notes that the film has an emphasis on coincidences, saying Tokyo Godfathers is a film that shows the small yet significant ties that each of us have with supposed strangers, and tells well the story of miracles, family, love, and forgiveness.
Who doesn't want a little heartwarming Christmas story like that? You can find the film from Columbia TriStar and Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. This next Kon work is what introduced me to him when I was 14 years old, in the middle of the night, and with weeks of nightmares after the first episode. Of course, I'm talking about one of my favorite anime of all time, 2004's Paranoia Agent.
Paranoia Agent tells the story of two investigators trying to solve the many assault cases caused by a kid known as Little Slugger. This series is a fun and interesting look into the distressed minds of many characters in the course of 13 episodes. Not only that, but it does bring in satirical moments about parts of Japanese cultures like otakus and chat rooms. But we all know that the reason this series is great is all the twists and turns KONE throws our way. It may be the only TV series KONE created, but it's certainly a lot of fun.
As of this video, Paranoia Agent was licensed by Geneon until they shut down, so the only way to find Paranoia Agent now is through older Geneon DVDs. Speaking of, can someone please relicense the show? It's the only major KONE work I don't have. 2 years after the success of Paranoia Agent came KONE's final film prior to his death, 2006's Paprika.
Another film adaptation, this time based on Yasutaka Sasui's 1993 novel of the same name, Paprika is about a research psychologist who uses a device that permits therapists to help patients by entering their dreams. Oddly enough, I've heard some people say that Paprika is a ripoff of the popular film Inception. If anything, Inception ripped off Paprika because, you know, Paprika was first, you goofballs. Hell, even Christopher Nolan cited Paprika as an influence for Inception. This film not only displays KONE's popular psychological and satirical themes, but it managed to become one of his most popular works worldwide alongside Perfect Blue and Paranoia Agent.
Personally, this one also isn't one of my favorite of his works, but it's still a lot of fun to watch. You can find the film in the United States thanks to Sony Pictures Classics. Though Paprika was his last film, KONE was still involved in the anime community until his death. In 2008, he participated in Anikiri 15 with a minute-long short called Ohio.
This quick short just shows a young woman going through her morning routine. It's a nice and simple concept that is played out wonderfully, showing a little bit of a different side to KONE, as there isn't really anything psychological or satirical about it. You should definitely check it out when you have a minute, because it is rather beautiful.
The Anikiri 15 shorts have not been licensed, but you can probably find them on YouTube if you know which one you're looking for. Prior to his death in 2010, KONE was hard at work on his next animated feature film, The Dreaming Machine. Not much is really known currently about this film, except that it centers around 3 robotic characters. In an interview with Anime News Network, KONE stated,
"On the surface, it's going to be a fantasy adventure targeted at younger audiences. However, it will also be a film that people who have seen our films up to this point will be able to enjoy. So it will be an adventure that even older audiences can appreciate."
After KONE's death, Studio Madhouse, the company responsible for nearly all of KONE's work, kept working on the film thanks to guides and notes that were left behind, and with the storyboard and the script itself already completed. In 2011, Madhouse's Masao Maruyama revealed that production was halted due to lack of finances, but he intends to complete the film with an ideal date of 2015. Maybe we'll get to see it as a 5-year anniversary of sorts. To see what initially began as a regular animated film is now the last piece from an amazing director. I know for sure that no matter what, Satoshi Kon wishes for this film to come to light, and someday his wish will be granted. Those are 10 works from the late great Satoshi Kon. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe to get more videos, and check out the blog for much more reviews and content. Until next time, otaku on, my friends.